What's up guys, welcome back to the video. As I'm sure you've heard, there's a new kid on the block, and no, it's not Godzilla x Kong, it's Harman Phoenix, the world's newest color film. And no, they didn't give me any pre-release rolls to test out, and I mean, that's okay, I don't mind. But I was given a roll by my local lab, Cape Film Supply, to test out for this video. And Cape Film Supply was kind enough to scan the roll through their Noritsu as well as their Fuji Frontier for a nice side-by-side comparison between the two. So the film's rated at 200 ISO, however from what I've seen online it does underexpose quite a bit, so I decided to shoot the entire roll at 125 ISO just to give the film a little bit more light, and I'm really glad I did because a lot of the shots actually came back not underexposed but a little bit darker than I would expect them to be. One thing to note about Harman Phoenix is the film base has a yellow color to it, which is something I haven't seen in other film stocks. So after loading the F3 up with Harman Phoenix, we head down to an underground parking lot that we've actually shot before in the past in a previous video, which I'll link up here. What I shot previously was Portra 800, and I thought I'd give you guys a side-by-side of the two film stocks.
Here we go again.
The Fuji Frontier across the board produced a cooler image with a slight green cast in the shadows, while the Noritsu produced an overall warmer image. Personally, I'm leaning towards the look of the Frontier, as I think this film stock performs better with a cooler white balance.
Lean back like against the wall.
I'm not sure what happened here, but it seems like the famous green flash from Pirates of the Caribbean must have gone off as I pressed the shutter, giving the images a Shrek-like complexion.
Grab your belt buckle and then look out the window.
When compared side by side with Portra 800, you can see just how dramatic the color shifts can be with Harman Phoenix. It's a stylized film stock for sure. From there, Liam suggested we head down to a local dog park to take some photographs there, as he gets along really well with dogs. This one's interesting to me. The ghostly halations around the bin and in the top left corner give this image a dreamy look like no other film stock I've shot before. I saw two men in the park playing with their hairy balls and asked if I could take a photograph.
Oh, is that alright? Thank you so much.
I said I'll pick up his balls if I can take a photograph of them.
I'm a fucking loser. I'm joking. Love you, Emma.
This image is a perfect example of how heavy the halations are with Harman Phoenix. As you can see around all the lights highlighted in this image, there's a bright glowing red halation. I think it looks quite cool, but this is definitely something that they're going to fix in future renditions of this film stock. When it comes to portraits, I think the Noritsu's warm brown tones produce a more flattering look to the skin tones. While the green shadows from the Frontier are a vibe, I prefer the overall look produced by the Noritsu. And overall, I really like the creative aesthetic Harman Phoenix gives to portraits. Surprisingly, this ended up being my favorite photograph from the roll aside from the portraits. This photograph was an afterthought while trying to get through the roll as quickly as possible, and I didn't think much of it, but I'm really happy with the way it turned out. Between the two scans, I much prefer the colder tones produced by the Fuji Frontier. These last few frames were shot right outside Cape Film Supply as I was dropping off the roll, and I didn't give them much thought, but the colors produced were quite pleasing. I'm usually quite a slow shooter when it comes to shooting film. I can spend up to a week on one roll, but I really pushed myself to try and get through this roll as quickly as possible to make this video and show you guys the results. Overall, I was quite impressed with the results I got back from this film stock. Despite how I feel about it, Harman Phoenix is a giant step for the film photography industry. It means that businesses are reinvesting in film photography, and like a phoenix, film photography is rising from the ashes. Shout out to Cape Film Supply for giving me this roll of Harman Phoenix to test out. If you're in South Africa, show them some support and grab a roll for yourself. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new, subscribe to the channel and let me know your thoughts. What do you think of Harman Phoenix and which scanner do you think produced the best results? Let me know in the comment section below and I'll see you in the next one. As I'm sure you've heard, there's a new kid on the block. And no, it's not Harman. Yeah, it's Godzilla X Kong.